Once you roll.
Today, the entire nation is grappled with the twin paradox of economic slowdown and rising youth expectations. In such a scenario, the policymakers are finding a tough time to find avenues for gainful employment. This scenario is getting all the more pronounced in the wake of the impending Lok Sabha elections. The domain of engineering is mired by yet another parameter called employability. There is a general perception which is being built up and largely propagated by the corporate India that the bulk of the engineering graduates are unemployable. Since 2004, since the first McKinsey NESCOM report came out, the percentage of the unemployable graduates is almost on a static plane. Is it a deliberate propaganda in the wake of reducing job markets, or is it the dominant reality of our engineering educational system? Are there some other avenues for gainful employment for the bulk of engineering graduates coming out from the 4,500 engineering colleges across the country? Today we have with us Mr. Ravi Pokharna, the director at Engineering Watch. He will tell us more about the National Employability Summit which they are organizing on the 27th of November with the specific theme Diversifying the Placement Portfolio. Ravi, what instigated you to initiate this theme of diversification the placement portfolio in the current job scenario?
Raghav, you rightly said about the dangerous problem that the country is facing, burgeoning population and people without jobs. Last year on 27th of November, same date that this year we are conducting National Employability Summit, we had recruiters conclave. We had placement officers and other recruiters present from across the country. I still remember one of the placement officers had suggested there that why there is such a focus on corporates and that too on IT, which is complementing the already existing problem of unemployability. The over dependence on placement officers and the colleges, and which translates into students' dependence also on the IT companies, that these companies will come to our rescue and they'll recruit us, is kind of adding to the entire problem. The colleges, campuses and placement officers are not looking at a bigger pie. So here in this particular program in National Employability Summit 2013, this edition, we are asking these placement officers who are in a way responsible for the interface between the industry and academia. We are telling them that look at increasing the pie, diversify your placement portfolio, look beyond corporates, look at MSMEs, look at PSUs, look at defense. You would be surprised to know that 12,000 jobs only exist in Indian Army, and these are, I'm talking about core engineering jobs. I'm not asking a mechanical person to switch and go and learn IT and do software. I'm asking that guy to do his work. That's core engineering job. So in defense and Indian Army, we've got in one of our sessions. There are 4 sessions in National Employability Summit. In one of these sessions, which is on defense, we have senior representatives from Indian Army, Air Force, Navy, CRPF, and these representatives have come on board. They want to communicate this to campuses that your students can look at us as an alternative, apply here for core engineering jobs. So that's what we want to communicate to the.
You mentioned about MSMEs as offering jobs for these graduate engineers. Like, would you throw some light on it?
See, there are 1 crore MSMEs in India. And these MSMEs, I would roughly take them as organizations which have got their turnover from 50 crore to 500 crore. Major of India or major of Indian industry is constituted by these MSMEs, micro, small and medium enterprises. Right now, the way colleges have positioned themselves, or the placement officers have given expectation to students, these students do not look at these MSMEs with high hopes, or they do not dream of joining one of these companies after completing their 4 years of engineering. We want to tell them that look, these MSMEs, maybe they would hire 5 to 50 students per year, so they might not be a bulk, so as to say bulk hire for you, but then 10 of these MSMEs put together can take your quarter of batch. So why don't you, make your placement portfolio in such a way that you get your quarter of the batch accommodated in these MSMEs? Why don't you increase their interaction? One of the campuses, you would know about the one of the campuses of Shada group of institutions. They beautifully discovered a course. They are sitting there in Agra. Agra has got, has got a thriving footwear industry. So they have come out with a course which teaches their students on the footwear industry. So a student after 4 years can, a fraction of the student, let us say 50 to 60 students, can go and get absorbed in the footwear industry. So why not we support our local thriving MSMEs and use our engineering students to support these MSMEs? They have wonderful opportunities. They're not second in terms of payment, yeah, but then they will be initially, they'll not offer you great packages. You have to dirty your hands, unlike an MNCs. But come on, I think as 4 years of engineering, you should look up to these challenges.
What kind of response you got from the corporate sector regarding this diversification of the placement portfolio summit you are doing?
I think saying fabulous will be an understatement. We've got a stupendous response from the defense, R&D establishments, the likes of DRDO, ISRO, and then I spoke about defense establishments, then MSMEs who are perennially in the problem of hiring the right candidates. If you ask them, what are your bottlenecks? What is stopping you from being an from being a full going to the next level? Good talent is one of their prime 3 problems, and they look at hiring this good talent. So and the corporates also, they are also happy that there'll not be so much of pressure on us to hire these students, because they are also going through their own growth cycle. You cannot rely on IT every time. IT is going through a very lean phase itself. So there has been, answering your question, there has been stupendous response across.
Thanks, Ravi. I think the National Employability Summit aims to address some of the vital questions which are really pertinent in today's time, when the placement officers have to really think out of the box, reduce their over dependence on the corporate sector, and diversify their placement mix so that they can be able to place their students for gainful employment. So I think on behalf of Engineering Watch, I would like to welcome the training and placement officers from engineering colleges across the country to make it to this wonderful event, which will be having mind-boggling discussion sessions and thought-provoking, I will say, interactions with the who is who from MSME, from the defense sector, from the public sector, and obviously from the corporate sector as well. A warm invitation to you all. Thank you.